to fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This piece is from Fox and Friends, and it concerns dairy farmers in Maryland, but I think it's much more about how Trudeau lies about Canada. To me it is, anyway. Canada does not allow free trade, and this is why Canadians are paying so much for staples, such as milk, butter, and bread, along with their insistence of putting ever more ethanol in our gas, which takes badly needed corn from our food supply, raising prices to Canadians. And the side effect of that is that it destroys our combustion engines as well. Ask any mechanic, they'll tell you. Here's the clip. What a difference free trade would make for us all. Listen to the bit where the dairy farmer mentions the percentage of income that goes to pay for food. I would suggest you play that several times, particularly if you live in Canada. Remember, bilingualism isn't free, as Canadians can attest to. Your comments.
Fallout from the G7 summit continues. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called U.S. tariffs insulting, but President Trump vows to keep fighting for fair trade and for the American farmer.
Canada does have very big advantages over us in terms of trade deficits. They don't take our farm products, many of them, and it's very unfair to our farmers, and it's very unfair to the people of our country, the workers, the farmers, the companies.
So what do our dairy farmers think of President Trump's free trade fight? Let's ask Randy Sowers. He has been a dairy farmer for nearly 4 decades. He owns South Mountain Creamery, which is located in Maryland, and he joins us now. Thank you so much, Randy, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So as a dairy farmer, were you pleased with the president's message to Canada, to Justin Trudeau, and putting tariffs on Canada?
Certainly was, yes.
Tell me why.
Well, Canada has a system where you buy, to sell or produce milk in Canada, you have to buy a base and then you produce milk on that. So they're pretty well try to keep their milk supply, in check so the dairy farmers up there can make good money. But if they have the extra products, they can send them into this country and we accept them pretty much with nothing attached to it. Where in this country, we're supposedly overproducing milk all the time, which I'm not sure I believe, but most of that milk that might be, they say it's dumped, they really take that fat off of it first because the fat's worth a lot of money. And I think one of the heavier tariffs to go back into Canada is butter, if you can get it in there.
So how is this going to affect your life?
Well, it's a start. I mean, dairy farming is not a easy business to be in. I mean, dairy farmers are falling over like bowling pins right now for a lot of reasons. A lot of it is dairy products coming in from other countries, which, I don't agree with. If we actually have too much, why would we bring anything in? We ought to be like Canada, not bring anything in if we have enough. But I understand, the trade, you got to keep things moving, and I don't know what the outcome or the answer is for dairy farmers. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure it's the program that the government set up right now that's supposed to pay us a little bit of money for, to try to make it better profitable for us.
Right.
But I'm not sure that would work.
I know you've said American dairy farmers are in dire straits and family farmers are doing this. They're just trying to make a living and put food on the table for their families. Are you happy with the president at least standing up for the American worker and saying, hey, I'm putting America first? Because he's been critical of other administrations for going on apology tours and doing what's best for other countries. And this president, he says, I want to put America first and put families like you first.
I think he's right on it. I agree with everything he's trying to do. I mean, I think he's really on the right track. I guess time will tell. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I think being a businessman like he is, he understands what we're going through a little bit. But farming is different. I mean, farming is something that this country ought to really be concerned about, because if people like me that are willing to work 16 to 20 hours a week, 7 days a week, can't do this anymore for a lot of different reasons, and big corporations take over, people are going to start paying more for their food. I mean, in the United States, we pay like 7% of our income to food, and I think the closest country to that is twice that much. I mean, some people are paying 50% for the food. But, I mean, if they had to pay me wages like, you work for big corporations to pay me double time and all that kind of stuff for everything over 40. I mean, you can see how expensive it would get.
Yep. Well, Randy, thank you for what you do. We have a lot of milk in our house, and we're grateful for the product that you're putting on all of our tables. Thank you.
Thanks
we appreciate
for having
it.
me.
Thanks for being on.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio, and please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.